to the Redskin. Go, Redskin.
What's good, people? You know, I wanted to come on real quick and talk a little bit about some of the moves the Washington Redskins made in the last, I'd say 12 to 14 hours. First of all, they didn't officially announce it until just a couple of hours ago, or about an hour ago, that they placed Jonathan Cooper, Quentin Dunbar, and Trey Quinn all on the injured reserve, which brings our current total up to 17 players on IR. I thought that it was 18, honestly, but then I heard, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 hours ago that Colt McCoy actually wasn't placed on injured reserve. He was actually, you know, he's still on the roster, which I find kind of interesting. But anyway, I was out of the loop yesterday. I had something to do in my personal life with my daughter and everything, but looking at what's going on in the meantime is, the Redskins put those three guys in IR, and then in corresponding moves, they signed three other guys, and they consisted of I believe it was a center, Demetrius Rainey, I believe was his name, who originally he was drafted with St. Louis back in 2014. I believe it was the 6th or 7th round. I think it was the 7th round. And Zach Kieran, I believe his name was. He was undrafted guard with the Vikings for a little while, and they picked up Marcus Smith, who was a defensive end with Philadelphia. He was drafted in the first round in 2014. I believe he played in Seattle last. The thought there is maybe he could step in if needed, because Ryan Anderson's probably going to miss the next 1 or 2 weeks while his hamstring heals up a little bit. We'll see where that goes. And then, of course, Josh Johnson is the new name floating around as the quarterback for the backup quarterback for Washington. And it was kind of a question. It was kind of in question what Washington was going to do as far as who they were going to sign. Gruden came out and mentioned Colin Kaepernick, went over his name a little bit, but quickly moved on to other names. The thought is that Josh Johnson has played with the coaching staff before, with his connections to Tampa Bay, and that it would be easier to acclimate him towards the system rather than to bring someone else in who's never played within the system. Of course, there was a little bit of a debate in the social media realm about why Kaepernick wasn't called. Folks, everybody should just take a second and realize that Colin Kaepernick has an open case against the NFL, and he is the head or the forefront of this, protest. And the NFL is probably going to squelch him out. I mean, whether that be right or wrong, that's just the way it is. Now, I really honestly don't think Kaepernick would fit with Washington, nor do I think he would really help all that much. Neither do I believe that Josh Johnson will help any. Neither do I believe that Mark Sanchez will help all that much. What Sanchez brings you is a little bit of experience, and he knows the other teams in the East. Hell, he's played for all of them. He's on the NFC East tour right now. But I'm not trying to get into the debate of whether or not Colin Kaepernick should be in the NFL or not. The point I'm trying to say is he's not going to fit this team, okay? And bringing him in week 14 would be kind of silly, because then we'd spend all this time trying to teach him the offense for really nothing. It makes no sense. It'd be a PR nightmare from all sides. And to be quite honest with you, honestly, just think about it for a second. I don't think he would sign with us anyway because of the team name. I believe the movement has become a bigger thing to him than playing football anyway. But I honestly do not believe he would have played for the Washington Redskins. A lot of his supporters and followers do not agree with the name. And that's just what it is. Can't change it, can't make anything else. I've heard some people try to throw some race sentiments in it, which is kind of silly considering that we have a person of Mexican descent and a black man as our, quarterback and backup. But I'll leave that one out there for everybody to discuss amongst themselves. And that's about all I got out of the Redskins.